Here we have the first woman burial, Justina Gassner, born July 7th, 1848, died January 25th, 1920. It says at rest. She shares a marker with her spouse. His last name, there he is. Alois Gassner, born in 1847 and died in 1916. And Alois was the first adult burial in this cemetery. And you see some more Gassners in the area, and we are actually on, I believe this is Gassner Road, or we had to get here by traveling on Gassner Road, if that's not it. Before the first two adult burials, there were 4 children buried here between 1884 and 1916. Hi there, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. Today we're in Beaverton, Oregon, and we're at the Catholic Cemetery on Cooper Mountain. The cemetery I don't believe is active anymore. The last burial was in 1997. The first burial was 1894, a baby, and then there were 4 burials, and then Mr. Gassner and 2 more child burials, and then Mrs. Gassner. And then after Mrs. Gassner passed in 1920, which is one of the newer burials that I'll ever showcase. I try to only showcase burials that are 100 years old and older. So 1920 may be the newest burial that I've ever showcased on this channel. And after she passed, there were quite a few burials between 1920 and 1950. From 1950, it jumped up to a 1980 burial, and there was a couple more burials in the 80s, and then, from 1950 to 1980, there was 3 burials. And then from 1984 to 1997, there was 2 burials, and there haven't been any burials since. So very small, segregated cemetery. And I just think it's interesting because there was a time in our country where our public cemeteries were very segregated according to religion, according to ethnic groups, and even in America, even according to what we didn't call class, but is known as class today, lower class, indentured servants, slaves. They all had their own burial grounds because it was believed that, the people at that time didn't want to be buried with the poor or whatever. I don't know. It's a concept that I can't quite grasp. But we're here. It's a small cemetery. We're going to head up the road to the Cooper Mountain Cemetery, which was not dedicated to only Catholic people. What all this means is that at some point or another, a Catholic priest came and blessed this land and consecrated it specifically, usually for a specific parish, but sometimes it just meant for a specific group of individuals. So that's going to be it for today's cemetery visit. Some really beautiful trees. We've got a willow or a really beautiful birch tree here. Lovely acers, some pines, just a sweet cemetery right across the street from the Cooper Mountain Nature Reserve, which is a really beautiful space. It's a little dry and dead right now at the end of the growing season, but beautiful wildlife habitat is allowed to have a sanctuary right across the street from the cemetery, which I think is quite beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're celebrating your life today, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.